All right, picture this. You get a nasty letter from the ATO demanding a cool 200 grand. And why? Because you missed a single paragraph in some of the most important super documents, but you barely remember signing. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, that's exactly what's happening to everyday Aussie SMSF trustees right now. And here's the real scary part. Most of them genuinely thought their investment strategy was rock solid and completely bulletproof. Today, we're going to dive in and figure out if your strategy is actually legal and keeping you safe, or if it's a ticking compliance time bomb waiting to explode. Hello, my name is Jason McCall and I'm the SMSF Property Guy. This is your channel for straight up, no nonsense SMSF talk about using your super to invest in property. Help us out and hit that subscribe button, give this video a like and share it with a mate who might need some help with SMSF property. Let's do a quick, super fast check. Grab your SMSF Investment Strategy document. You know, the one that probably lives in a dusty folder somewhere. Now scan it for these 5 crucial words: diversification, liquidity, risk, insurance, and review. Go on, I'll wait. Okay, have you found them all? Great. But if any of those words are missing, or worse, nowhere to be found, then your fund is already on the wrong side of the rules. And seriously, the ATO isn't interested in how brilliantly your shares performed last year or if your property investments are absolutely booming. They care about the process. If your paperwork doesn't clearly show that you've thoughtfully considered and documented these 5 essential elements, your fund can be declared non-complying. We're talking about a whopping 45% tax on your entire super balance, plus a stack of penalties that will make your eyes water. That's why having these words explicitly stated and addressed isn't just a good practice, it's absolutely non-negotiable for staying out of trouble. Now, let's talk about risk. I've reviewed DIY SMSF strategies and honestly, about 70% of them copy and paste the same old, the fund will invest in a diversified portfolio. Here's the blunt truth. That sentence is pretty much worthless in the eyes of the ATO. Regulation 4.09 of the SIS Act law is crystal clear. You must spell out the specific tolerance for each individual member, not just treat the fund as one big generic blob. Think about it. Are you a cautious investor who prefers steady returns? Or are you comfortable taking on a bit more risk for potentially higher growth? What about your spouse, their age, their income from other sources, their health, whether they have dependents, how far away from retirement? All of those personal details have to be on that page. Without that personalized insight, your auditor has no choice but to flag a breach. And once the auditor flags it, the ATO can issue a direction notice faster than you can even mumble rectification costs. It's about demonstrating you've genuinely considered the unique circumstances of everyone involved, making sure the strategy is tailored. People absolutely love having property inside that super fund, and for good reason. It's a fantastic long-term asset, and it's why I'm here today, the SMSF Property Guy. But here's the cold hard truth. Property doesn't pay the tax bill. Every single June, your SMSF owes the ATO a 0.6% supervisory levy based on your member balances. Then there are audit fees, actuarial fees, advisor fees, potential pension payments, and even unexpected maintenance on that investment property. If your investment strategy doesn't explicitly outline how you'll hold enough cash or easily sellable listed shares to cover at least 3 years of those outgoings, your auditor has to note a liquidity shortfall. This isn't a hypothetical problem. I'm seeing funds right now being forced into desperate situations, selling off perfectly good properties at fire sale prices just to meet their obligations. And why? Because they never bothered to write down a clear, realistic liquidity buffer number. Don't let that be you. Plan ahead, ensure your strategy details how you handle those inevitable costs. And here's a clause that gets forgotten far too often: insurance. The law states that trustees must consider insurance for its members. It doesn't actually force you to buy it, but you absolutely must document why you decided not to. Simply writing "not required" on the document is like waving a big red flag in front of the ATO, especially if a member is under 50, has young kids and a mortgage. They'll rightly wonder if you're truly considered their financial security. Luckily, there's a super simple fix. Just one well-crafted sentence can solve this entire headache. After comparing premiums to member cash flow and assessing the existing external coverage, the trustees elected to maintain death and TPD via external retail policies. Or perhaps the trustees considered the current financial position and personal circumstances of all members and determined that the existing insurance arrangements outside the SMSF were adequate. Therefore, no additional insurance is required within the fund at this time. It shows you've thought about it, which is exactly what the ATO wants us. Many trustees believe that simply ticking a box once a year that says reviewed is enough to satisfy their obligations, and that's wrong. So incredibly wrong. The ATO isn't looking for a tick, they're looking for evidence of a review. This means meeting minutes that detail discussions, an updated asset allocation table reflecting any changes, and perhaps a new risk questionnaire if a member recently hit 55 or went through a significant life event like a divorce. These aren't just bureaucratic hurdles, they ensure your strategy remains relevant to your evolving circumstances. If you can't produce that kind of documented evidence, then in the eyes of the regulator, that review simply didn't happen. It's all about proving you're actively managing your fund and not just letting it drift. Your SMSF investment strategy isn't just some dry, boring formality you can't ignore. It's actually your most important legal shield, protecting your retirement savings and giving you peace of mind. One tiny missing paragraph or an overlooked detail can literally turn a comfortable, well-deserved retirement into an absolute compliance nightmare, costing you a fortune and endless stress. So tonight, do yourself a huge favour, open up that document, run the 5-word test, plug any holes you find, and then you can sleep easy. You know that the ATO won't be funding its next big advertising campaign with your hard-earned retirement money. Stay compliant, stay safe, and secure your future. If you've got any value from today's deep dive, please hit that subscribe button. I drop a new SMSF video every single Wednesday night at 8:30 to help you all stay ahead. Remember to check out last week's video. Most people fail with SMSFs, but can you beat the odds? Take care, guys, and as always, I believe in starts. The rest is inevitable. Bye now.